episode 42, I think. Hi to all my new subscribers. I'm going to start off by showing you something that needs to be got out of the way, really, because it's pretty big. Now, last video I was showing you my Drunkard's Path quilt, and I said I was going to put on the grunge, which I have, and my 5-inch piano border, which I have, and I've mitered the corners. I know they don't match, that doesn't bother me. Now where's the fabric? Oh yes, the fabric I've chosen for the next border, which is just going to be 2 inches, and then it'll be binding. Not decided what to bind it with yet, but I've chosen this. I'm not going to hold it up again because it's enormous now. It's 14 inches bigger than it was before. So that's going to be a border just to highlight the blues. And then I'm going to do a binding, but I might do the binding with the blue as well, because I've got quite a bit of that blue. In fact, I've got quite a few blues, and I've had them all I've had this folded up over the back of the settee all week, and I don't know what I've done with them now. I've had all my different blues. Oh, here they are. I've had all my different blues hanging up next to it, and I decided on that one. That's a pretty one, but it doesn't quite go. So it's going to be that one. A 2-inch border all the way around. And then I shall show you how to put the wadding in behind the border, because of course that's floppy doppy. It's not got anything in behind it, like the rest of the quilt is already wadded and quilted. So that's my plan for next week. So I'll get that out of the way. In the meantime, I have been making my great niece's quilt, and I was going to layer it up and show you how to layer it up today, but the fabric I've got for the backing isn't quite big enough, so I'm going to have to do some, you know, cutting and sewing on and things. So I'm not going to get up. I'm a bit tired, so I'm just going to hold that up for you to see. Can you see? That's a quarter of it. You see the pinwheels? Pinwheels in blue and white every now and then. Now this was, it's a Missouri Star Quilt Company pattern. I don't know what it's called, and I didn't follow it to the letter. But I used, the fabric range I used 2 fabric ranges. I just got 2.5-inch squares and 5-inch layer cake thing, 5-inch charm square. Now I'm hoping it says on this I used 2 different ranges. They're both Moda, because I got them from Sheila at Quilting Treasures. It's Hello Sunshine by Moda, and the other range I used was, I think that was called Whatever the Weather, something like that. So that's the backing, and all the leftover squares that I had, I put down the middle of these 2 backing fabrics. Well, 2 fabrics that I didn't like much, so I thought I'd use it for the backing. But it's about 10 inches short. So I think I'm going to use this along one edge. Or I could cut it in the middle and put it right in the middle. We'll see anyway. So that's that. Getting done. It's getting done. Of course, when I've laid it all up, then I've got to quilt it. But there you go. That's nice and bright, isn't it? And this white that I've used was the one with all the positive words on. I thought if she felt like having a read of that, she can be filled with positivity. I mean, she's 5. Just, you think that's all right for a 5-year-old? I did worry it was a bit young, but, you know, it's... Anyway, that's that done so far. Now I've got some strange fabric this fortnight. I have liked this range of fabric for a long time, and it was just out of my price range. And then there was this man in one of my Destash groups who was selling it, and these are cushion panels. So it's not quilting fabric, and it's got like, can you see on there, it's got cut lines where you have to cut it up to make a cushion panel. So I've got 12 cushion panels, or if I want them double-sided, 6. So it's kind of, it's not quilting weight, but that doesn't bother me. It's like a tea towel weight, and I do collect tea towels as well, you know. Joe Brown's tea towels are lovely. So I got and you know, it's designed by that lady, you know, the rather eccentric man and woman who have done up a chateau in France, and she's designed this with by using all the fabric and wallpaper things that they found during their doing up of the chateau. It's all in keeping with, you know, the chateau, and I think it's lovely. So that's going to go on my long time pile. I think I will put it in the quilt, because it is lovely. As you know, everything I buy is lovely. So bit strange, but there you go. And I found a lady on the Destash group who collects border fabrics, and she's finally realised that she's not going to get it all used. So I bought quite a bit, and this is one of them. I've got 3 meters of this. Now I did think that this would look nice with my Drunkard's Path quilt, but I don't think I'm going to use it. We'll see, because it's got blue and red in it. Anyway, that's going to be saved for years to come, I expect. But it is lovely, isn't it? Anyway, what else have I been up to? So that's the sewing I've been doing, putting the edge on my Drunkard's Path, or the edges, testing blue fabrics for doing a bit more of, and sewing my great niece's quilt. Of course, I've been buying fabrics, and I bought quite a lot this week from, I did have it written down, didn't I, last time, from Flutterby Fabrics, and she has a Facebook page where she has all the fabrics all there for you to buy, and she also has a shop, and on a Wednesday evening at 7 she has a live sale. So, you know, if you want to be in on that, I mean, well, I suppose you could call it a sale. Some of them are ends of rolls, but some of them are new ranges, but she does a discount for the live. So if you watch the live, you get it discounted, and I have it on my, you know, my reminder thing on the phone, because I like getting discounted things. Right, so all of this I've bought off her. I don't know where I've got that from. Yeah, all these things. I think that's everything from Flutterby Fabric. So I shall show you. As you know, I like white on whites, creams on creams, things like that. So I got that one. That's just 30 centimetres worth by width of fabric with butterflies. So that's lovely, because I like to mix and match. And that is also butterflies. A small, well no, it's a bigger piece. And what's this got on it? Oh, more butterflies. I must have bought a few separate pieces, because they are lovely. And I did say to her, if you get any more of that in, will you give me a ring, a bell, a knowledge, you know, a nod. That's the word, isn't it? Give me a nod if you get any more. And she said, oh, I've got some more pieces. So they're all butterfly on cream or ivory or whatever. I'm being fussy here, because when they're folded up, I like all the rounded edges, you know, to be, I don't like these scraggy edges to be mixed up in the front. So I'm just exposing my fussiness. And these are just plain ivory cottons that I got discounted as well. So that's one, and that's the other one. This is 2 meters, this is 1 meter. And I was saying to my husband, I really need to reorganise in here because I know I've got tons of cream, ivory, white, you know, background fabric, but they're all over the place. I want them to be all in the same shelves. He's saying to me, are you sure you've got enough energy to do that? So I'm not going to do it all at once, am I? Anyway, last week, because, you know, she has a sale every Wednesday, I bought this. I've got tons of this. It's really wide, and I think I've got 2 meters. It's called Enchanted Wings by Bethany Felt, the Craft Cotton Company. It's lovely, isn't it? It's beetles. Where's that other fabric I got that went with it? Oh, here. I got this. That I thought went with it. Same colours anyway. And I also think it quite goes with this. Though I don't think this is the same range. So I've got that. Let me see if this is the Craft Cotton Company, which Cynthia tells me is only available in England. So if you live in England, yes, it is the Craft Company, Cotton Company. Parrots in Paradise by Bethany Salt, not Sale. So I've got a few of her fabrics here, haven't I? And I've got this along with these parrots because they have the fruit in the back. They're lovely, aren't they? I especially think that's lovely. And I like the beetles one. I do like beetles. They come in such lovely colours. You know, Pinterest. I've got I was nearly saying millions, and then I thought, no, that's a bit much. Masses. I've got masses. I must have over 1,000 boards, and one of them is beetles. Oh, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. They come in such gorgeous colours. Not just the black beetles that we see in the garden. Gorgeous beetles, all sorts of lovely and shiny, you know, petrol in water colours. Green and purple and all sorts of things. Lovely. Anyway, I also bought these cactuses, are they? I just thought that was lovely. Lovely colours. And I got, this is a red, but it's got a bit of ombre in it. This was an end of line or an end of roll. I'm just looking to see who it's by. It's called Reflections. And it's by Lewis and Irene. So I thought that would be nice for something where, you know, I'm not dead set on everything being the red colour, the same colour. And I got this because I love this colour, kind of a mustard, and it's got like little leaves on it. She does sell a lot of Lewis and Irene. Yeah, this is Lewis and Irene. It's right across a fold where I can't see it. Majolica, Joe Rose. It's nice, isn't it? And then this week, oh, I bought those creams this week, I think. I got this one because I thought it was lovely. Didn't really buy a lot this week, actually, or last week I should say. Come on, where's the writing? It just says Lewis and Irene, everything else has been cut off. But that's lovely, isn't it? See, you have to be quick at these sales. Well, they're not sales, the lives, because everybody wants, you know, she says, I've only got 8 meters of this, and everyone's saying, I want it, I want it, I want it. And I got that. I did want the cream version as well, but that sold out quicker than I could get my name in there saying, yes, please. So that's what I got from Flutterby Fabrics these past fortnight. Now these I got off Destash Group, and they're all calf Fassett stripes that the lady has washed but not used. And you know, I'm a bit kind of boggled with calf Fassett stripes. I think they're lovely, but how do you choose? Anyway, I chose these. I thought I'd get a few different colours, and I might put this in my stripy shirt quilt, because I've been collecting shirts, you know, for a stripy shirt quilt. That's good, isn't it? How many of them have I got? These are the woven ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I must have 10. 9. I've got 9. Lovely. And I've got, not from a Destash group, but from another group I'm on. I can't remember what they're called. I got all these calf facets as well. Because I was telling my husband, you know, I can't get to the shops. And very often, when you're looking online, you can't tell what something looks like. And they're sold out by the time I get around to it anyway. So I got these calf facets. I don't know what they're called, it doesn't say. But they're all floral. And usually I miss out on the florals. Garden party they're from. They're lovely, aren't they? I have made a tulip quilt with calf facets, but I don't know where it is. I used it as a backdrop in our little bedroom where we keep the computer when I went online in lockdown. I've not seen it since. So I've obviously put it somewhere. You can probably tell, can't you, from comments like that I haven't got a tidy house. Much like my shed, really, that's not tidy either. I'm one of those people that's tidy at work but not at home. Anyway, they're lovely. I bought them. And I bought this. And you know how attentive my husband is. I've already quilted this. I've made a quilt out of this. But I bought another one because I've still got some matching fabric left. So it's for a baby. It's lovely, isn't it? It is. The quilt I made is lovely. I made it for my granddaughter, although my daughter hasn't taken it yet because it wouldn't fit her bed when she was a baby. Because it's, yeah, it is kind of getting big. It got like to single bed size. She could probably have it soon. I also bought this Christmas panel, which of course is lovely. I'm going to make coming up for Christmas, but it'll be to see if I can sell it to somebody who can't sew, rather than one of my grandchildren. They've all got their Christmas quilts now. So I got that from Destash as well. You know, I don't go looking for things unless it's clearance. I go to looking clearance baskets of online shops and you find things there that are nice and affordable. And that came with some matching fabric, and that was from Destash. This was from Destash as well. It's nice, isn't it? I just bought that because I thought it was nice. It hasn't got a visible thing on the side, so I don't know who it's by, but it's lovely quality, feels lovely, and I like that. So I bought that. Now this is from the lady that collects borders. I didn't know it was the same lady until she said, "Oh, I've just packaged your other border work up. I'll put it in together and save on postage." So I've got about 3 meters of this, I think. A border fabric. So that's the 2 borders that are repeated. And I got a bundle of fat quarters to go with it. So one of them goes very well. And I've got this is kind of, that's irises. And these are irises but on cream. And then I've got more iris. I think these are bearded irises, aren't they? That's on a black. And I don't know what these are. They could be tulips. So that was a nice little buy. And I mean, it's 2 weeks since my last video, so it's what I bought over a fortnight. And that was in Fabric Free February as well, so I think I'm going to have Fabric Free March instead, although it isn't alliteration, because I didn't really stick to it, did I? And I bought these from Destash because I just thought they were nice as usual. I don't know who this is by. Oh, hang on. Here's some, it's by Henry Glass. It's Flowers and Stars by Henry Glass. Just because I thought that was nice. It would go nice with that stripy fabric actually. And I bought this because I thought it was a nice blender type. And this is by Robert Huffman Fusions. Nice pink. And I bought this because I thought it went with both of those. Ooh, you know, I do have awful gastric reflux. I might have to go in my and look for a packet of antacids in a bit. So I bought this because I thought it went with the pink and the burgundy. So I don't think I'm going to buy anything this month. I mean, Sheila, I haven't paid for anything this month, so that's why I've not got anything off her. I've got lots of stuff waiting for me to pay. But she has, if you join her group, which is Fabric Treasures for the UK on Facebook, she is selling cheap lots of fat quarter stacks that she's had put away. She didn't have a good year last year. It's not been very good this year so far either, but she's selling them off as cheap as she can, you know, without doing herself a monetary injury. But I don't think, I narrowed it down to 6 that I liked, but I didn't really like any of them enough to buy them, if you see what I mean. And I spent a lot of money last month, and I think I should have a Fabric 3 free March. And I'm thinking, I don't need it. I think that, you know, periodically, sometimes I buy it because I like it and don't really care if I need it or not. But periodically, I think to myself, I don't need it. I don't, do I? I do like Missouri Star Quilt Company. And I was watching a video on YouTube recently of her. It was really nice. And it was, what was it? Half square triangles cut up and arranged in a different way. I think she sewed them together and then cut them up and arranged them in a different way. Just, you know, she was doing 10-inch squares, and it was a 10-inch square of the plain background and a 10-inch square of the patterned fabric. It was lovely. I thought, oh, I'm going to do one of them. And I've got millions of 10-inch squares, millions of them. You know, I was telling you that I've been buying all this blue fabric, blue hairs, to go with my Christmas fabric. Woo! That I'm going to be making a Christmas quilt. This is the range that I'm going to be doing. I Believe in Angels. And it's got this blue and pretty blue. And I thought I would buy lots of blues to go with them. None of them do. It's a bit dark. I've got this one. That is also a bit dark. Goes nice with that one though. This is the one I bought last week. This is the Easter one, which is a lot nearer. And that doesn't really go either. But I think I'm going to use this one, that's these two that are blue and red. And I'll just incorporate them in and then use them as borders. I mean, there's red in it as well. Red with snowmen on and flowers and green. There isn't so much of the blue, and I thought the blue was so pretty. It's going to highlight the blue. Well, I think I still am. But this is what happens, you see, when you buy everything online like I do. I don't buy I can't get to a shop. And if I could get to the shop, by the time I've got from the car to inside the shop, I'm in too much pain to go any further. And I certainly can't walk round the shop. It's very awkward. I downloaded this quilt pattern as well. Somebody on all the groups I'm in was saying, Ooh, I've nearly finished this quilt, and she thought there was too much green in it, and I thought it was a lovely pattern. Although I wouldn't use just green and pink and white like they have. But she told me where she got it from, and I downloaded it. That's pretty, isn't it? It's Quilt Fort Company, and it's called Cozy Nights. A quilt pattern by Laura Lowen, Loewen. So it uses half square triangles and half square rectangles to do those stars. I was a bit worried when I was downloading it that it might be paper piecing, because you know I'm scared of that. My brain doesn't go backwards. So, see there? Can you see how that's a half square and a half rectangle? Anyway, I thought I'd have a go of making something with that. And my trip to see my daughter and her husband and my grandson, my youngest grandson, went very well. We managed to get the sat-nav to work. We didn't run any animals over. We didn't come across any problems at all. And I also bought a sat-nav. No, the sat-nav was working. We had that working. I bought a dash cam, and that remained in its box on the back seat all the way there and all the way back. Because my husband said there was nothing to stick it to the window with or something, but there was. He just couldn't be bothered, or it was beyond him or something. Oh, and we've been to hospital as well. We went last week to see his new consultant, because he used to have specialist neurologist to see him because of his cerebral vasculitis. And then when he started having strokes, he started seeing people from the stroke team. And his last episode, where they decided it was a flare of the cerebral vasculitis, took them 9 days to decide that. Anyway, because the neurology team and the stroke team were very disagreed on what it was. They each thought, one thought it was a stroke, the other thought it was, but there was no evidence, you see. He had I don't know how many scans and angiograms and things. They couldn't find any evidence for it being either. So they gave him steroids and he got better very quickly. But they decided to ask a consultant who specialises in narrow vessel disease. And they've requested all sorts of tests, which he's done over the few months, and we actually got to see the consultant on Friday for a whole hour. An hour we were talking to him, because he was showing us all the brain scans and the differences and where the trouble had been and what part of the brain had small vessels and what part of the brain had large vessels. And apparently he is having lots of trouble deep in the brain where it has small vessels, which is why his strokes have not been catastrophic like people who have large vessel strokes. He has small vessel ones, so it's just a small bit of deep in there problems. Anyway, they can't do anything about it, of course, apart from manage it. So he's got to get thin, lose weight, he's got to get his blood pressure down, he's got to be tightly controlling of his diabetes. Of course, if he loses weight, his diabetes might go away anyway. It's very difficult though, you know. I mean, we've decided not to eat processed food. The only processed food we're eating are things like biscuits and ice cream and the children's sweets. So I'm cooking all the time. Although my cost of shopping has gone down, because all I buy now is like chicken and fish and beef and vegetables and fruit. And every now and then we're eating something out of the freezer. So we went down to my daughter's, and it had recently been my husband's birthday, and she made him 12 Cornish pasties. So we brought them in, and we had a room in the freezer to put them in, and they were yum. We had one last week, so that's unprocessed. And like, we're having fish and chips, and that's not processed because they cook that right there in front of you, although we've decided it is a bit kind of high in fat, and maybe we won't have as often, maybe once every other month instead of every other week. Anyway, so we're trying to cut down, because they say it's processed food that makes you put the weight on. My husband is having baked potatoes with salad for his lunch, and for his breakfast he's having no carbohydrates, which he's not very happy about. You know, he's having to give up his I don't know what they're called. I've never had one actually. You know, like grated potato fried. I don't know what they're called. I've never cooked one, never eaten one. But he gets them at work with his cooked breakfast because it's not got so many carbohydrates in it. But you see, he was having, you know, toast. It's full of carbohydrates. I wish I could remember what those things were called. Anyway, I can't. So he's not having any of those anymore, and he's having to pay attention to his lessons on what a carbohydrate is. We had stir-fried chicken last night. That's not processed apart from the sauce. But you know, it's raw chicken and raw vegetables, and I suppose noodles are processed, but they have to be really to become a noodle, don't they? Anyway, I'm having to think of things to cook. I know, it's awful, isn't it? I did send him out to buy a cooked chicken that's cooked on the premises, and we had a big salad with it one day, so less work for me. Oh, and you know, I said that to make this even, well, I haven't got enough fabric in a layer cake, so I bought the fat quarter stack. Now, even the fat quarter stack brings me a bit short of the required amount of fabric. So I decided, looking at the pattern, let's get it out of here. I decided that instead of using all these bits of fabric for the leaves, I would buy separate fabric for the leaves. And I bought this. It's William Morris. Where did I put those? Here. So I thought I'll get something that can tone in with all those different greens. So these are the greens, or some of the greens anyway, that are used in the quilt. It's not quite right, but that's what I'm going to use for the leaves, I think. So all the leaves will be greener than they are on the pattern. And I'll tie it in by doing a border of this fabric, because you know I don't ever stick to a pattern. That's unheard of. I either don't have the right fabric and have to add some other, or I decide, oh, I don't like that, I'm going to change it, or I do it wrong. You know, I buy patterns, I don't follow them. What can you do? I'm a devil, aren't I? I'm a devil person. So I don't think I've got anything else to tell you. Been playing games with my grandson. We made an undersea world with Play-Doh at the weekend, until his little sister decided she wanted to play. So it kind of got put away. She did play. She played some of the lids of the Play-Doh had, you know, pictures in that you can press on and kind of make a biscuit. She played with that, but she wanted, you know, the octopus and the fishes and the seahorse that wouldn't stand up. It was a lazy seahorse, it lay on the floor. Yeah, she wanted all of them. It's kind of spoiled his game, but we did play it for quite a while before she became interested. He went out searching for bugs with Popsy, and he brought his remote control digger. That was fun, digging things up in the living room. We didn't do any reading though, but we had a good play with the Play-Doh. We weren't there very long actually. We had missed them though, because we didn't see them the week before when we were away. But we saw my little grandson, which of course is lovely. He's so cute. He's a little cherub. They all are. They're all lovely. You know, love them all in all the different ways. There you are thinking, oof, you know, I'm in old age, and suddenly you start having grandchildren and your whole life changes direction. Although we can't, I mean, my daughter, her husband goes out for a long run every Saturday morning. He's out about 3 hours, runs about 30 miles. And he phoned her up. He got a pain in the back of his leg, so he's cut it short. Would she come and pick him up? Because he didn't want to push it. I think he's running a marathon. I think he ran a marathon on Saturday. I'll have to ask her. Anyway, so she went and picked him up and left the little grandson with Popsy and Granny. It's me and the husband. She said she did drive fast because, you know, she was a bit worried. But, you know, we know how to be with grandchildren. We've got some up here that we've, I mean, the eldest one is 6 now. And very often, well, not very often, but it has occurred, you know, several times that we've had to step in and help out and take over and things. My daughter's husband has a bad back, and, you know, several occasions, at least 2, we've had to go and have the children because he has to go to hospital, and she goes with him, and we have the children, or one child goes to school and another one stays with me, or they're ill. All sorts of things come up, isn't there, where grandparents come in handy. I mean, my daughter, when she burnt her legs, although I'm not supposed to talk about it, her in-laws went down. We were ill. We had flu or something. And her mother-in-law went down and helped out. And then her father-in-law took over and helped out because she couldn't, you know, she couldn't walk or anything. Not for the, well, for the first week. After that, her husband was off. Anyway, we're seeing them again in April. They're coming up in April because they usually come up for Easter. And my son-in-law is running in the Manchester Marathon, which coincides. So that'll be nice to see them again. And I have to badger them all to all come to my house at the same time so that all the cousins can get to see each other. Although my oldest grandson, you know, whenever I'm on the phone doing video calls, he's very keen to talk to his little cousin. I'm sure his little cousin is thinking, oh, it's him again. I don't know who he is. But it was funny. While we were there, he was looking at things on my phone, and one of them was one of these videos, and I'm sat there talking away, and he was looking at the phone, and he was looking up at me. I'm looking at the phone. I think he was a bit confused. Although it's pretty confusing anyway, because he talks to me on the phone a lot. Well, I say talk, you know. We play pop peepo and chat in his language. And then he turns up at my house and he thinks, oh, it's the woman in the phone. And my little granddaughter, she called me Granny this weekend. She never called me Granny before. She wanted me to get the lid off the sweet jar. Yeah. Anyway, they're all little cherubs, aren't they? I am going to be off now then and put some tea in the oven for us to nosh on. And I've no idea what. I think I'm going to look in the freezer and just get something that we need to eat. Yes, and then I'm going to alter the backing fabric of my great niece's quilt, get that the right size, and then I am going to do 3 of these borders. I've ordered some more wadding because I'm a bit short of wadding, and I'm going to do 3 of the borders on my Drunkard's Path quilt, and the last border I shall show you how I put it all together. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this latest one. I've enjoyed talking to you, as I always do, and I hope this leaves you well. See you soon. Bye.